The much-loved matriarch of the Fox-Truman conglomerate has been through so much during her 20-year tenure in Walford, but her current battle against acute myeloid leukemia (AML) has proved to be her toughest yet. And yes, this is a woman who survived an abusive relationship with alcoholic Owen Turner Lee Ross, before finding love with Kevin Wicks, Phil Daniels, who then went and died on RD. Next up was her engagement to vicious vicar, Lucas Johnson Don Gillet, who wound up being a serial killer, and kept Denise locked in a rank basement while telling her family that she died. You think that's a lot? We're only just getting started. She suffered all-encompassing poverty, resulting in her nearly starving to death and resorting to taking food from bins. Then she had a fling with Phil Mitchell, Steve McFadden, got pregnant and made the heartbreaking decision to put the boy up for adoption. When she tried to get him back, she found he'd been left in the care of his gangster granny, forcing another battle. Next came a love triangle with Jack Branning, Scott Maslin, and Ravi Gulati, Aaron Thiara. Though some could argue it wasn't the worst situation she'd ever been in, suffering psychosis in the aftermath of her involvement in Keanu Taylor's, Danny Walters, grisly death might well have been though. On top of all of this, she also nearly married Ian Beale, Adam Woodyard, which is arguably the worst thing that could ever happen to a female resident of Albert Square. Denise's life was rocked to its foundations when she received the news that she had cancer. Initially keeping her diagnosis a secret, she ultimately broke down to Yolanda Truman, Angela Winter, who discovered her, terrified and alone in Fox and Hare. As a consultant called Denise, pleading with her to return to the hospital immediately to begin the incredibly time-sensitive treatment, she refused, determined to support daughter Chelsea Zara Abrahams, whose son Jordan Fox, Josiah Williams, had been knocked down by the previously mentioned Ian Beale. When she finally revealed the truth, first to partner Jack Branning, Scott Maslin, then to her family, missing daughter Libby, Belinda Owusu, returned, though neither she nor Chelsea were matches to provide a transplant. As Denise headed to hospital to begin her month-long stay where the doctors would begin to tackle her cancer, the Fox family dealt with the emergence of Sheila Atkins, Sheila Ruskin, the creepy nan of Jordan's dad. Jordan's dad, of course, being crazed serial killer Gray Atkins, Toby Alexander Smith. Sheila's method of penetrating the family involved generous cash donations, which have disarmed Chelsea, Kim Fox and Howie Danes, Tamika Empson and Delroy Hugh Atkinson. Returning home earlier this week, Denise neglected to tell her family that the chemo she'd endured hadn't dealt with the cancer in the way her doctors had hoped, and she'd have to undergo further treatment, while being hit with 2 further blows. She discovered that a friend she'd made in hospital, Tayana, Denise Pitter, had sadly passed away, while also ending up in a confrontation with Sheila. Today's episode saw her finally admit to Jack that the treatment hadn't worked, while swearing him to secrecy as Libby announced her plan to return home. As Jack continued to panic about any potential cross-contamination making an immunosuppressed Denise ill, she welcomed the entire family round for a goodbye party and to watch the football. There was joy as Jordan moved his foot without thinking, showing progress in his recovery, before Denise bid Libby an emotional goodbye, before declaring to Jack that she's still resolute. She will beat this cancer. As Denise vows to continue fighting, will she face even more obstacles in her journey to health? Will a mystery blonde be one of them? Denise Fox has never had an easy life in EastEnders, but her latest storyline is proving to be one of the most emotional and heartbreaking the BBC soap has ever told. Just when fans believed the beloved Walford resident might finally catch a break, another devastating twist leaves Denise facing an uncertain future, and a painful goodbye that changes everything. After recently being diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia, Denise has been trying to stay strong for the people she loves. However, beneath her brave face she is terrified. Doctors initially gave her hope that treatment could help, but devastating news soon follows. Her first round of treatment has not worked as well as expected, meaning she will require further treatment, and another lengthy stay away from Albert Square leaves Denise struggling to hold herself together. She desperately wants life to return to normal, but every conversation reminds her that nothing will ever be the same. Watching her family carry on while she battles the biggest fight of her life becomes almost unbearable. As Denise prepares to leave Walford once again for more hospital treatment, emotions run high across Albert Square. Kim refuses to believe her sister won't beat the illness, doing everything possible to keep everyone's spirits high. Her usual humor hides genuine fear, and viewers see a much more vulnerable side of Kim than ever before. Chelsea also finds herself overwhelmed with guilt. She realizes how much pressure Denise has been under while still trying to support everyone else. Mother and daughter share several emotional scenes in which old disagreements are forgotten. Chelsea promises Denise that she'll look after the family until she returns, although neither woman can completely hide the fear that this goodbye could last longer than expected. Meanwhile, Raymond struggles to understand why his mom has to leave again. Denise does her best to reassure him, telling him she's simply going away to get better. Once he's out of earshot, however, she breaks down in tears, unable to hide her fears any longer. Yolanda remains one of Denise's strongest supporters throughout the ordeal. Having encouraged her to fight after the initial diagnosis, she refuses to let Denise give up hope. Their friendship becomes one of the emotional highlights of the storyline as Yolanda reminds Denise that she has survived countless hardships before, and can survive this one too. Despite everyone's encouragement, Denise privately worries that she is becoming a burden. Every hospital appointment brings more uncertainty, and every goodbye feels heavier than the last. Rather than letting her family see her weakest moments, she continues pretending everything will be all right. As news spreads around Walford that Denise is leaving again for treatment, residents gather to wish her well. Familiar faces offer hugs, kind words and promises that they'll be waiting when she returns. The farewell scenes perfectly capture just how important Denise has become to the square after years of unforgettable storylines. Adding another emotional layer, Libby's brief return to support her family also comes to an end. After standing beside Denise during her darkest days, Libby says goodbye once more, leaving Walford after helping hold the family together during the crisis. Her departure makes Denise's situation feel even lonelier. Although Denise tries to remain optimistic, viewers are left wondering whether her battle is about to become even tougher. With doctors recommending additional treatment, the road ahead appears long and uncertain. Her determination remains inspiring, but the physical and emotional toll is becoming increasingly obvious. Fans have already praised Diane Parrish's powerful performance, with many describing the storyline as one of the most realistic and emotional health stories EastEnders has produced in years. The episodes balance heartbreaking family moments with genuine hope, showing that even in the darkest times, Denise refuses to stop fighting. Importantly, while Denise's departure from Walford is emotional, it is connected to her ongoing medical treatment, rather than a permanent exit from the series. The storyline focuses on her battle with cancer, and the impact it has on everyone around her, leaving the door open for her eventual return. As the taxi pulls away from Albert Square, Denise looks back one final time at the place she has called home for so many years. Tears fill her eyes as she silently hopes she will soon return to the family and friends waiting for her. For viewers, the farewell is both heartbreaking and hopeful. Denise's journey is far from over, but the latest chapter reminds everyone just how fragile life can be. Whether she can overcome the toughest challenge she has ever faced remains one of EastEnders' biggest and most emotional storylines. One thing is certain: Denise Fox has survived heartbreak, betrayal, and unimaginable trauma before. Now she faces the greatest battle of all in Albert Square, and millions of viewers will be hoping she finds the strength to come home once again. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to EastEnders Spoilers Official.